Yeah. So good evening, all. Welcome to the 13th session of this Prabhu Speaks series. Dr. Prabhu has been sharing multiple on various topics we were discussing. Where right now we are on the Upanishads, and today we would want to hear more from Prabhu sir. So all of you, while during the session and all, any queries and all, make a note of it. Once at the end of the session, that's a time where we have more interactive and all your questions will be answered. Just make a note of them, and then we can get started. Sir, over to you, sir.
Okay. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Amsarashubhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. We salute to all our gurus and we start our session on Yoga Upanishads. In this series of Upanishads, we have covered each Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, and we have also covered Taittiriya Upanishad. We may cover other major Upanishads later, but today this topic is on Yoga Upanishads. So I would like to share with you the heritage of Indian philosophy and practice of the Upanishads, which are 108 in number. And I have this thick book here, which is containing the original text of all the 108 Upanishads. Upanishads are the interactive discussions between the teacher and student in the forest academies of ancient India. And all Upanishads are affiliated to a particular Veda. All of you mute your mics. All mute should be mic, please. Muted, please. All mic should be muted. Yeah. So the 108 Upanishads.
Sorry, sir. I think Dr. Sridhar, please. I'm muting him, but it's getting again. He's unmuting. So possibly, sir, please mute yourself so that all the others are not disturbed. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So 108 Upanishads are categorized into Vedanta Upanishads, Samanya Vedanta Upanishads, and also Yoga Upanishads. And the principal Upanishads are 11. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taittiriya, Taittiriya, Brihadaranyaka, and Shveta. And the other categories of Upanishads are Shaiva Upanishads and Shaktya Upanishads and Vaishnava Upanishads. So under the category of Yoga Upanishads, of course, in addition, we have Sannyasa Upanishads. So totally, I would say there are 6 categories. First is the Sannyasa Upanishads, second is Yoga Upanishads, third is Samanya Vedanta Upanishads, and fourth is Vaishnava Upanishads, and fifth is Shaiva Upanishads, and sixth is Shakti Upanishads. The smallest list is of the Shakti Upanishads. There are only 8. And Shaiva Upanishads are 15, and Vaishnava Upanishads are 14, and Samanya Vedanta Upanishads are 24, which is the maximum number. And the Sannyasa Upanishads are 20, and Yoga Upanishads are 20. So a lot of people don't know that Yoga Upanishads also exist. A lot of people think Upanishads means only the standard 11. Isha, Kena, Katha, Mundaka, Mandukya, Taittiriya, and Brihadaranyaka, and Shveta. Because Adi Shankaracharya wrote commentaries to these 11, everybody thinks only these 11 are the only Upanishads. But out of 108, which is a huge number, all these different categories of Upanishads are ignored or not known or not popular. And the yoga subject as a whole was demoted by the others into a kind of a physical culture without realizing that the Upanishads themselves have covered yoga in a deep way. In fact, I would go to the extent of saying the Upanishadic statements in the principal Upanishads like Isha, Kena, Kata, Mundaka, Mandukya, which are the most profound Mahavakyas and Tattvamasi and kind of Mahavakyas, all those things are not coming out of the blue. They are not coming out of reading other Upanishads. Normally, what we do, we read Upanishads and we give lectures based on what we have read. But the authors of the Upanishads have not read any other Upanishads and given these Upanishads. They have given from their own original experience, as you can possibly understand. And that original experience is through yoga, higher yoga, not just the gymnastics kind of lower yoga, but higher yoga. So these yoga Upanishads are 20 in number. I'll read out the list now. Advaita Tarakopanishad, Amrita Nadopanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad, Shurikopanishad, Tejo Bundu Upanishad, Trishikha Brahmana Upanishad, Darshana Upanishad, Jnana Bindu Upanishad, Nada Bindu Upanishad, Pashupata Brahma Upanishad, Brahma Vidya Upanishad, Mandala Brahmana Upanishad, Mahavakya Upanishad, Yoga Kundali Upanishad, Yoga Chudamani Upanishad, Yoga Tattva Upanishad, Yoga Sikha Upanishad, Varaha Upanishad, Chandilya Upanishad, and Hamsa Upanishad. This grouping of all these 20 as Yoga Upanishads is not done by me, but by traditional scholars, which is there coming in the tradition from time to time. And of course, the reasons for categorizing them into yoga category of Upanishads should be the explanations of the yoga practices given there. And the other Samanya Vedanta Upanishads are Akshupanishad, Adhyatmopanishad, Annapurnopanishad, Atmopanishad, Atmabodhopanishad, Ekasrayopanishad, Kaushiki Brahmanopanishad, Garbhopanishad, Nilarambopanishad, Pingalopanishad, Pranagnihotropanishad, Mantrikopanishad, Mahopanishad, Muktikopanishad, Mudgalopanishad, Maitrayani Upanishad, Vajrasuchi Upanishad, Sharirikopanishad, Sukarahasya Upanishad, Sarva Saropanishad, Savitri Upanishad, Subalopanishad, Suryopanishad, and Skandopanishad. And in the Shaiva Upanishads list, we have Akshamalik Upanishad, Atharva Sikha Upanishad, Atharva Siros Upanishad, Kalagni Rudra Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, Ganapat Upanishad, Jabal Upanishad, Dakshinamurti Upanishad, Pancha Brahma Upanishad, Bruhad Jabal Upanishad, Bhasma Jabal Upanishad, Rudrajaya Upanishad, Rudra Jabal Upanishad, Sharavara Upanishad, Shvetashvatara Upanishad. And in the Shakti Upanishads, we have Tripura Upanishad, Tripura Tapini Upanishad, Devi Upanishad, Brihva Upanishad, Bhavana Upanishad, Saraswati Rahasya Upanishad, Sita Upanishad, and Saubhagya Lakshmi Upanishad. And among the Vaishnava Upanishads, we have Avyakta Upanishad, Kali Santarana Upanishad. In fact, the Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This mantra, which is the core mantra of the ISKCON movement and Vaishnava Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, is coming out of Kali Santarana Upanishad, Krishna Upanishad, Garuda Upanishad, Gopala Purvottara Tapani Upanishad, Karasara Upanishad, Tripad Vibhuti Mahanarayana Upanishad, Dattatreya Upanishad, Narayana Upanishad, Nisimha Tapin Upanishad, Rama Tapin Upanishad, Rama Rahasya Upanishad, Vasudeva Upanishad, and Hayagriva Upanishad. And in the Sannyasa Upanishads, we have Arunika Upanishad, Laghu Sannyasa Upanishad, Kundika Upanishad, Katasrich Upanishad, Paramahamsa Upanishad, Javali Upanishad, Brahma Upanishad, Ashrama Upanishad, Maitri Upanishad, Narada Parivrajaka Upanishad, Nirvana Upanishad, Bhikshuk Upanishad, Turiya Atita Avadhuta Upanishad, Bruhat Sannyasa Upanishad, Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Upanishad, Parabrahma Upanishad, Bruhada Avadhuta Upanishad, Yajnavalkya Upanishad, Shatyayani Upanishad, Laghu Avadhuta Upanishad. So these are apart from the principal Upanishads, which we have covered some of them and we may cover some more later. So among the Yoga Upanishads, the yoga subject as a whole, which has been covered in other Yoga Sutras like Patanjali Yoga Sutras or Yoga Shastras, like various Samhitas like Shiva Samhita, Gheranda Samhita, and Goraksha Samhita by Gorakhnath, and Hataratnavali by Gorakhnath, and Hatha Yoga Pradipika by Swatma Rama in 12th century. So all these have been existing. And the beauty of the Upanishad is that it is attached to a particular yoga, Veda, and those who know the chanting of that Veda also know the chanting of that Upanishad. So today I will focus on the major Yoga Upanishad, which is called Yoga Tattva Upanishad. So it starts with the sloka of introduction. Yoga Aishwaryam cha Kaivalyam Jayate Yat Prasadataha Tad Vaishnavam Yoga Tattvam Ramachandram Vadam Bhaje. Om Sahanavatu. Tomorrow is the birthday of Sri Rama. He is praising the introductor is praising. Of course, this is not the original text of Upanishad, but somebody has added as a praise sloka before starting the Upanishad. The Upanishad is very ancient. We don't know exactly how ancient it is and which Upanishad is more ancient and which is later, and it's very difficult to decide. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Yoga Tattvam Pravakshyami Yoginam Hitakamyaya Yat Prasad Yat Shrutva cha Paritva cha Sarva Papai Pramuchyate. Now, Yoga Tattvam will be explained, by hearing which or understanding or reading which all Papa's sins will be liberated from. Vishnu Nama Mahayogi, the greatest of the yogis is Vishnu himself, Narayana. Mahabhuto Mahatapaha Tattva Margeya Hadipo Drugmit Purushottamaha Tamaradhya Jagannatham Pradipachavitamaha. Brahma has performed Upasana on Narayana, Vishnu, and Saprapacha. He has asked Yoga Tattvam, what is the essence of yoga? Me bruhicha ashtanga yutam. Please explain to me. Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha. Vakshami shrunu tattvataha. Sarve jiva sukhai dukhai. Maya jalena veshtita. All living beings are caught up in the Maya of Sukha and Dukha. Tesham muktikaram margam Maya jala nikruntanam. To be able to break and destroy this Maya Jalam, that is the mesmerizing, hypnotizing Maya. We know what it is. If you open the TV, you can see Janma Mrityu Jaravyadhi Nasanam Mrityu Tarakam Nana Margaistu Dushprabham Kaivalyam Paramam Padam. So to reach Kaivalya, the objective of all darshanas, all Upanishads, is only to reach Kaivalyam, which is moksha, nirvana. To achieve that, to transcend death, to transcend the miseries of old age and disease and death. And there are many methods. And Patita Shastra Jaleshu Prajnaya Tena Mohitaha. And people are caught up with a large number of Shastras. They are lost in the forest of Shastras. Prajnayate Mohitaha Anirvachya Padam Vaktum Nasakyam Taisurairapi. So the ultimate state of liberation, which is undescribable, Anirvachya Padam Vaktum Nashakyam, it is not possible to explain even by the Devatas, Surairapi. So Atma Prakasha Rupam Tatkin Shastrena Prakashyate. The Atma is self-illuminating, and how it can be illuminated by a Shastra. Nishkalam Nirmalam Shantam Sarvatitam Niramayam. The nature of the self is being explained. Nishkalam Nirmalam Shantam Sarvatitam Niramayam Tadeva Jiva Rupena Punya Papai Halair Vritam Paramatmanam Nityam Tat Katham Jivatam Gatam. So the Atma, the Paramatma, which is free from all encumbrances, which is full of light, Atmas Prakasha Rupam. It acquires, it assumes Jivatva, the form of an individual soul, Jiva, and caught up with the past karma of Punya and Papa, Papa Punya Krutair Vritam, Paramatma Padam Nityam Tat Katham Jivatam Gatam. How did it? Brahma is asking Vishnu, Narayana, how is it that the eternal, infinite, pure, effulgent Atman is acquiring the form of a Jiva, Jivatam Gatam? How is it possible? Tat Katham Jivatam Gatam. Sarva Bhava Padatitam. It is the nature of that self transcends all thought processes and all words. Paramatma Padam Nityam Tat Katham Jivatam Gatam. Sarva Bhava Padatitam Jnana Rupam Niranjanam. The nature of the self is Jnana Rupam Niranjanam. Varivat spuritam tasmin tatra ahankritirthita. And ahankara is starting, the first starting point. Panchatmakam abhut pindam dhatubadham gunatmakam. And the pindam will be created with the Panchabhutas, and the gunas and the dhatus will be controlling. Sukhadukhay samayuktam jiva bhavaya kuru tena jiva abhidana prokta vishuddhe paramatmani. Now that jiva is formed, kama krodham bhayam chapi moham, and it will be acquiring all negative emotions one by one. We know very well what we do whole day, what we see on the TV and newspapers. Kamam krodham bhayam chapi moham lobham adho rajah janma mrutyusya karpanyam shokas tam drikshu dhatrusha trishna lajja bhayam dukkham vishado ehesha ebhirvair vinirmuktaha sajivah kevalo mataha. That is a jiva who is, if he is freed from all these negative emotions, then he is Shiva only. Tasmat dosha vinashardham upayam kathayamate. So for removing these doshas, what is the methodology? Upayam. Yogahinam katham jnanam mokshadam bhavati dhruvam. Without yoga, a simple jnana of theoretical nature will not be leading to moksha. Yogo api jnanahinastu nakshamo moksha karmani. At the same time, a practical yoga practice without jnana arising out of it is also not adequate for achieving moksha. Tasmat jnanam cha yogam cha mumukshur dridham abhyaset. So a mumukshu, a person who wants to get moksha, shall practice both yoga and jnana, will acquire both yoga and jnana. Ajnana deva samsaro jnana deva vimuchyate. The samsara bandha, the bondage of samsara is due to ajnana, and only by jnana there will be moksha. Jnanas rupameva adho jnanam jneka sadhanam. Jnana swarupam eva adho jnanam jneka sadhanam. Jnatam yena nijam rupam kaivalyam paramam padam. The self-realization, knowledge which leads to self-realization, or the knowledge of self-realization, that alone leads to paramam padam. Nishkalam nirmalam sakshat satchidananda rupakam. What is the nature of that ultimate truth? Nishkalam nirmalam shantam satchidananda rupakam. Utpatti sthiti samhara spurti jnanam vivarjitam. It is devoid of creation, sustenance and destruction. Eta jnanamiti proktam atha yogam bravimite. This to have that jnana, to have that realization is called jnana. And now I will tell you what is yoga. So all this is being answered by Vishnu, Narayana to Brahma. Now what is yoga? He is explaining now. Brahman vidyate vyavaharta mantra yoga, laya yoga, various types of yogas. Mantra yoga, laya yoga, hatha yoga, raja yoga, arambha yoga, ghata yoga, mantra yoga, layaschaiva, hatho aso, raja yoga kaha, arambhascha ghataschaiva, tatha paricaya smritaha. Nishpattischaitrya avasthat sarvatra parikirtita etesham lakshanam brahman. Now I am going to explain, O Brahma. Listen carefully with concentrated, absorbed mind. Matrukadiyudam mantram dvadashabdam prayojane. Now mantra yoga is explaining a mantra with along with the matruka bijas. If it is practiced for 12 years, dvadashabdam prayojayet, kramena labhate jnanam. Slowly you will acquire jnana, and also the siddhis of animadi gunanvitam. Alpa buddhi yam yogam sevate sathakadhamaha. Laya yoga is superior to mantra yoga. Laya yoga layaha kotika parikirtitaha kotisha parikirtita gachan tishtan tvaran bhunjan jaye nishkalam ishwaram. In all states of your life, moving, eating, talking, sitting, going, you are absorbed in Ishvara. Saeva jaya laya yoga syad dasha yogam syad hatha yogam atasruno. So laya yoga is being absorbed in the Lord in all the states of your life. The Hatha Yoga, or which we call Raja Yoga also, is now being explained. Yamascha Niyamaschaiva Asanam Pranasamyamaha Pratyaharo Dhanam Upaccharam. So the Ashtangas are being explained. Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Asana, Pranayama. Please mute your mics. Hello. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Jhana. Jhanam Bhrumajjame Harim. To meditate on Hari, on the Bhrumajja. Samadhi is Samatavastha. The last stage, Samadhi is Samadavastha, equanimity state. Sa Ashtango Yoga Uchyate. These 8 angas are called yoga. And then the mudras, Mahamudra, Mahabandho, Mahavedhascha, Khechari Mudra, Mahamudra, Mahabandha, Jalandhar Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Moola Bandha. We practice these things in our Hatha Yoga. I teach these things. Dirgha Pranavastandhanam Siddhanta Sravanam Param. Long Om Upasana and listening to the Siddhanta of Advaita and so on. Vajroli, Vamaroli, then there are advanced techniques like Vajroli, Amaroli, Sahajoli, Tadha, Etesham, Lakshanam Brahmam, Prachanam, Prachekam, Srunu Tattvataha. Now I am going to explain the properties of these things and a practitioner of Laghvaharo Yashveko Mukhyo Bhavathanetaraha, Ahimsa Niyame Shveka Mukhyena, Chaturanana, Siddham Padmam. Now, eating less food, Laghvahara, and Yame Shveko Mukhyo is an important principle of Yamas. Ahimsa is one very important. Niyame, according to him, in Yamas. But in Patanjali, the Ahimsa is in Yamas. Now, asanas, Siddham, Padmam, Tadha, Simham. Siddhasana, Padmasana, Simhasana, Bhadram. Bhadram is nothing but a Vajrasana, very similar to it. Chatusthayam Pradham. There are 4 static asanas: Siddhasana, Padmasana, Simhasana, and Bhadrasana. Pradhama Abhyasa Kale, during the first session of practices, there are many obstructions. Vigna, Chaturana, many obstructions will come. What are those? Alasyam, laziness, Athanam, Dhurtam, cheating, Koshti, discussions, Mantra, the sadhanam, Dhatu, Stri Saukhyadi, Stri Laulikadi, Mrugatrishna, Mayanivai. Running behind sexual pursuits or behind other mirageous, illusory pursuits. Jnatva, Sudhisyate, Eta Sarvan Vignan, Punya Prabhavataha, should be able to overcome all these obstructions. And Pranayamam Tatak Kuryat, Padmasana Gatus Swayam. Now Pranayama is to be performed on Padmasana. Sushobhanam Matham Kurya. Now we are explaining what is the type of room or house. Sushobhanam Matham Kuryat, Sukshma Dwaram tu Nirvanam, Susthuliptam Gomaye Subhayana Prayatnataha. Matkana is without flies and mosquitoes. He's telling even all those details. Dine Dine Samrishtham Samajanya, having purified with Gomayam and so on. Vasitam Sugandhena Dhupitam, with good smell with Guguladhibihi. Natyuchritam Natinicham Chailajana Kushotram. Same words are used in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter. Neither too high nor too low. On a asana of Ajina or Kusha. Ajina is Krishnajinam, that is the skin of a dead deer, and or the Kushasana, Garbhasana. Tatro Samashya Medhavi Padmasana Samanvitaha, Rujukaya Pranjalischa Praname Ishtadevata. And first he should prostrate to the Ishtadevata. And Tato Dakshinhastyam Angulasthema Pingalam Nirudhya Purayed Vayhu Idayatu Shanai Shanai. Breathe in through the left very slowly. Yadhashakti Avilodhet Tatak Kuryat Kumbhakam, and retain, hold the breath as per your convenience. Punas Chajet Pingalaya. Breathe out to the right, that is called Pingala. Shanaireva Navegatah, only very slowly, not fast. Puna Pingalaya Purya, Puraye Dudaram Shanaihi, Dharayitva Yadha Shakti, Evayo Evaye Ide Shanaihi, Yayachak, Yapurya Dhara. That is the entire pranayama process which we know. Dharaye Avirodhataha, Janu Pradakshinach, Nadutam Ravindam, Anguli Spotanam Kuryat, Samatra Parichiyate. Now it's giving the length of the breath in terms of ratios and in terms of longevity, and even Patanjali Sutra is there. Dirgha Sukshmaha about pranayama, and many types of ratios. He's explaining all those ratios. Chanai Ashid Pariyandam Chadurvaram Samabhyaset. How many times should evam? Of course, whatever numbers is describing here are not relevant for Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga we are very weak. We can do only small things. We cannot do big pranayamas. Evam masatraya abhyasat nadi shuddhis tato bhavet. So by doing pranayama for 3 months, as explained above, nadi shuddhi, that is the purification of the system, the entire nervous system and the circulatory system will happen. Yada tu nadi shuddhi syat tada chinnhani bahyataha. What will be the indications externally whether the nadi shuddhi has actually taken place? We all know we do this anulom vilom pranayam, nadi shuddhi pranayam. How do you know whether the results have come or not? He's telling the results also. Sharira laghuta, you feel light. Deeptihi, radiance. Jataragni vivardhanam, good hunger. Krushatvam cha, thin body. Sharirasya tada jayate nischitam. Surely these symptoms will be visible. Yoga vignakara aharam varjayed. Yoga vittamaha. All the food categories which are obstructing the yoga process should be given up. That includes spicy food, Lavanam, Sarshapam, Chamlam, Ushnam, Rukshnam, Tikshakam. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, Rajasahara, Katvam, Latyushna, Tikshna, Ruksha, Vidahina, Hara, Rajasasyeshtaha, Dukha, Shokamaya, Pradaha. Shakajan, Hadeo Pradipika, he has given Katvam, Latyushna, Tikshna, Ruksha, Artha Shaka, Savira, Sarshapa, Matya, Matsyan, Ajadi, Mamsa, Dadi, Takrakut, Takola, Pinyag, Hingula, Ashunadjam, Apatyamahu. Same thing he's spelling here. Shakajatam, Ramatad, Bhakni, Sri Sevanam. Pratasnanopashayadi payadi kaya klesham chavarjet. Fasting, etc. is to be given up. Fasting is not required for yoga practitioners. Abhyasa kale pradhamam sastam Shirajya bhojanam. What is the best diet? Milk with rice. Shirajya bhojanam. That rice could be either wheat, godhuma, mudgasha, shali. Shali is rice, or even barley, or even millets. Yoga vruddhikaram viduhu. So this kind of diet is milk cooked with these cereals or millets. Tadaksharam yadheshtantu shakti swadhyaya dharate yadheshtadharanadvayo siddhyet kevala kumbhakaha. Yavat kevala tavat sahitaha. That is the famous statement. Until the kevala kumbhaka occurs on its own, only sahita kumbhaka should be practiced. That is various ratios with your own effort. And like a time will come without your effort, breath will stop. Kevala kumbhaka. In my younger days, when I performed intense pranayama, I have reached that stage. Kevale kumbhake siddhe, recha pura vivarjite. Without recha and puraga, then what will happen? Natasya durlabham kinchit. Lokeshu vidyate, prasvedo jayate. I have also experienced these stages of heavy sweating, and then tatopi dharanad vayo kramena eva shanai shanai kafo bhavati dehasya tato adhikatarabhyasa dharanatesu svedo vedacha darduro bhav utplotutya gacchati padmasana sthito yogi tadha gacchati bhutale. He will be elevated, he will be levitated. The body, the pranayama will just jump up from the earth. Tato adhikatarabhyasa bhumatyagascha jayate. Bhumityagascha jayate. You will be jumping up automatically. I have experienced that also. That is called levitation. Padmasana sthevasau bhumi mutsrujya vartate. He will just go above the earth. And atimanush chesthadi. Beyond that, he will get miraculous powers. Na darshayecha samadhyam darshanam viryavatram swalpam va bahuda dukkham yogi na vyathate tada, and he'll be transcending all kinds of sorrows. And alpamutra purishancha, swalpanidrasya, very little sleep and little excretions. Kilavo dushika lala durgandhadanane etani sarvadhatasya najayante tatah param. Bad smell, bad odor will not come. Tato adhikatarabhyasad balam utsajjante bahu yena bhuchara siddha swam bhucharanam jaye kshamaha. Then the various siddhis and vyagro sarabho vapi gajo gavayeva va simho va yoginaptena briyante hastatadita. Even the ferocious animals like lions, tigers will be controlled. We have seen pictures of Ayappa sitting on the tiger, and we have seen many other yogis. In fact, Jnaneshwar made a donkey or a tunnaput, that is a male buffalo, to chant Vedas. To that extent, the powers come. They get a lot of powers. And even Ravana Maharshi used to sit and snake used to come, and nothing used to happen. My parents have seen that. Yoginamena mriyante hastataditaha kandarpasya yadharupam. Siddha Purusha will look very attractive. Tadha asyada yoginaha tadrupavashaga nariha kankshante tasya sangamam. And such a yogi will be desired by all females. He'll be attracted. He'll be attractive to the female. He will not be interested, but they will be interested. Yadi sammam karotyesha tasya bindukshaya. If he gets attracted, then he will fall. Varjayitva striya sangam. Avoid sexual intercourses. Kuryad abhyaska muda. He is not talking of all common people. He's talking of such advanced yogis. Yogino anges sugandhascha jayate. There will be good smell coming out of his body. Tato rahasyupavishtaha pranavam. Japet purvarjita. Now, Papan, how to meditate on Om, how to chant Om. Today in my yoga class also at Pragati Resorts, I have chanted Om. For all the participants chanted Om 15 times. So that is explaining that. Pranavam. Pluta matraya. Pluta is Om 3 times, not Aswa Dirgha Pluta. That is the minimum. Long also it can be there. Japet Purvarjitanam tu Papanam Nasahetave. Now, as Patanjali has said, by Pranava Abhyasa, because Pranava is the indication of Ishvara, Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha, and Ishvara is an extraordinary personality who is not affected by the kleshas and karmas. Klesha karma vipakashayai aparamrishtaha purusha visesha Ishvara tasya vachaka pranavaha tajapastad ardhabhavanam tata pratyak chetanadhigamo apya antaraya bhavascha vyadhisthana samshaya alasya avilati Kranti darshana labdha bhumikatvan te antaraya dukkha daurmanasya angamejesva shwasa prashwasa vikshepa sahabhuvaha. All these things will be overcome by the practice of Om Pranava. And so by the Om practice, Papanam Nasha Hetave, all diseases come out of sins. They will all be destroyed. Sarva Vignaharo Mantraha Pranavaha. Please mute your mics. Sarva Vignaharo Mantraha Pranavaha Sarva Doshaha. Pranava will be able to destroy all doshas, all deviations, all sins. Please mute your mics. Evam abhyasa yogena siddharambha bhava tato bhavet ghatavastha. Then after that he'll reach a ghatavastha, that is ghata yoga. Pavanabhyasa tatpara prano appano mano buddhir jivatma paramatmano anyonyasya avirodhena ekata ghatake yadha. So the individual soul and the cosmic soul will merge into one. What is yoga? Yoga is nothing but samyoga of jivatma paramatma yoga eva samyoga eva yogaha ghatavastha sa prokta tachinhani bravimyaham. Now a person who has reached ghatavastha, what are the symptoms? Purvam yak kathito abhyasam chaturdhamsham parigrahet. He will take even less food. Divava yadivasayam yamamatram samabhyaset. He will be doing a practice of ekavaram pratidinam kuryat Keval Kumbhakam. He will automatically get into Keval Kumbhaka state and get into Samadhi state. Indriyani Indriyardhebhyo yet Prachaharanam Sputam. Then Prachahara will automatically happen after Keval Kumbhaka. Yogi Kumbhakamasthaya Prachaharas Uchyate. That is in the Kumbhaka state, he will reach introversial withdrawal. That is called Prachahara. tat pashyati chakshubhyam tattadatmeti bhavayet. Yatyat pashyati chakshubhyam tattadatmeti bhavayet. Whatever you see with your eyes, please realize it is your own self. Whatever you are hearing is your own self. Because ultimately everything is in your mind, and all you see, the outside world, is only in your own mind. Yajjat shrunoti karnabhyam tattad atmeti bhavayet. Not only whatever you see, but whatever hear is nothing but the self. Labhate nasayad yajjat tattad atmeti bhavayet. Whatever you get in any other channel, you should look at it as your own self. Jihvaya yad rasam hyati tadat atmeti bhavayet. Tvacha yajjat spushet tattad atmeti bhavayet. Evam jnanendriyanam tattvat sahayedya. Yamamatram pratidinam yogi yatnadatam dritaha. Yatha va chitta samadhyam jayate yogino dhruvam. Dorasruti, doradrishti. Please note the powers which he gets. Dorasruti. He will be able to hear from very long distances. Doradrishti. Kshanad Dura Agamastatha. He'll be able to go anywhere at his will. Vak Siddhi. Whatever he says will become true. Kamam Rupatvam. He can take any form which he likes. Adrushyakarani Tatha. He can become invisible. Malamutra Pralepene Lohade Swaranata Bhavet. Even gold can be created by his excretions. Ke Gatistasya Jayeta. Kechari, that he will travel on in sky. Santatabhyasa yogataha sada buddhimatabhyasam yogina yoga siddhaye. I have not reached this, but there are people who have reached this. We have seen in our history. My own guru had some of these siddhis, other yogis, other siddhas, they all had these siddhis. In fact, those who have siddhi are called siddhas. So siddhas as a category higher than humans. We have the various categories other than humans. Manava is human. Then we have Deva, Gandharva, Yaksha, Kinnara, Kimpurusha, Siddha, Charana, Vidyadhara, of course, Rakshasa. So all these categories are other than human beings. So Siddhas are there. They have recently there was one post where one Siddha was seen in Tiruvannamalai temple flying from ground by keeping his hands up. He just flew up. Ete Vigna Mahasiddher Narameteshu Buddhiman Narameteshu Buddhiman. But an intelligent man will not get carried away with this because he is interested in getting moksha. Sadarshayet Susamadhyam, Nadarshayet Susamadhyam. He will not demonstrate his capacities. Yasya Kasyapi Yogirat. The Yogirat, the king of yogis, will not demonstrate this to anybody and everybody. Yatha Mudho, Yatha Murkho, Yatha Badhrevava. He will appear as if he is a fool, idiot, or he is a dumb person, or he is a deaf person because he wants to escape from the contamination of contact with others or getting provoked by others, disturbed by others. Tadha varteta lokasya. He will be behaving in that way. In fact, this is a very famous statement earlier also we have heard. They will be such advanced souls. They will be behaving as if they are idiots, fools, and jada, badhira, and so on. So Swasamarcha Guptaye, to keep his powers as secret. Sishyascha Karyeshu Prarthayantana, all the disciples will come and they will beg him and pray him for executing their own desires. Tattat karma Karavyagra Swabhyase Nirvruto Bhavet. If he starts doing their own errands and jobs, then he will lose his own level of practice and advancement and he will fall. So he doesn't want to waste time in such things. Vismritya Guror Vakyam Abhyaset Nisham. So he'll be remembering his guru's instruction, and he'll be only doing abhyasa all the time without getting distracted with all these siddhis and their after effects of popularizing with the disciples. And finally, his disciples will corrupt him. They will pull him down to horrible, abysmal depths. We have seen that happening with many Siddha yogis falling into abysmal levels. They got arrested, they were jailed and whatnot. All kinds of things have happened because they have gone into the wrong direction like this. Evam bhaved ghatavastha santatabhyasa yogata. This is called ghatavastha. Anyatha anabhyasatavascheva vrdha goshtha na siddhyati. Just by talking and by reading and discussing, it will not come. Tasmat sarva prayatnena yogameva sada abhyaset. You shall practice yoga all the time. Tata parichayavastha jayate abhyasa yogataha. Vayu parichito yat Yatnavad Agnihi Saha Kundali, Bhavayitva, Sushumnayam, Pravishe, Naniru. Now he's talking of Kundalini, the Ida Pingalam, Kundalini, Nadis, Vayuna Saha Chitram, Pravishe, Mahavacham, Yasya Chittam, Swapavana, Sushumnanam, Pravishe Deya, Bhumi Rapo, Analo, Vayu Rakash Cheti Panchakam, Yeshu Panchasu Dehanam, Dharana, Panchadodhyate. So having reached into Sushumna Nadi, he'll be able to do dharana on different Panchabhutas, 5 different Panchabhutas. Pada di Janu Paryantam Prithvi Sthana Muchate. The legs onwards to the bottom, up to the knees, it is called Prithvi Sthanam. Prithvi Chaturashram Chapitavarnam Lavarnakam. La is the Bijakshara, and there is a chakra which is considered as the square. Ardhive Vayu Magomya. Lankarena Samanvitam. Lam is the Bijam. Jayam Chaturmukhakaram Chaturvaktram Hiranmayam Dharayet Chand Panchakhatika Prithvi Jayam Apnuyat. And if he performs that kind of a dharana, he will get Prithvi Jayam. He will conquer Prithvi, and therefore Prithvi Yogato Mruchurna Bhave Tasya Yoginaha. He will not die due to Prithvi. Ajano Payu Paryantam. Apam Sthanam Prakirtam. Prithvi Apa region is from the knees above, knee joints above to till the genital organs. So that portion is Apa, and Apordham Chandra, Ardha Chandra Shuklam, some Vam Bijam. Va is the Bijakshara, and it is half moon type of shape of the chakra. Parikirtitam Varune Vayumaropya Vakarena Samanvitam. Smaran Narayanam Devam. Narayana is related to this. Chaturbahum Kiritinam. Shuddhas, that is why Narayana means in the Apa. Apa, Nara means Apa. Shuddhas Patika Sankasham. Pitavasanam Achyutam. The Pitambara, Narayana, Vishnu. Dharayet Panchaghatika Sarva Papai Pramuchate. By doing dharana on that kind of a Devata in the Apa region, he will be freed from all sins. Tato Jalad Bhayam Nasti, Jale Mruchurna Vichate. He will never die out of water. Apa. Water means all liquids and that Panchabhuta. And then after that, from the Apayo Hridayantamcha, from the genital organs up to the heart, it is called Agni Sthanam. We also call it Anahata Chakram. Vanhi Sthanam Prakirtitam. Vanhi Trikona Raktamcha Rebhaksha Samudbhavam. Ra is the Bijakshram. It is triangular. Vahnauna cha Anila Suryo Rebhaksha Samudvalam. Triyaksham Varadam Rudram. Rudra is the Adhisthana Devata. Taruna Aditya Sannipam. He shines like a mature sun. And Bhasmodhulita Sarvangam, with all Bhasma on his body. Suprasannam Anusmaran. You shall meditate, you shall remember, you shall concentrate on that form of Devata Rudra. Dharayet Panchaghatika Vahnina Sau Sanadahyate. If you have achieved success in that dharana, then Agni will not affect you. I have seen one video where one of the sadhus is just lying down on a pyre of fire and nothing is happening to him. His clothes are getting burnt, but his body is not affected. Nadahyate Shariram Cha Pravishthasya Agni Kundake. So whatever he is explaining, I have seen one video in Haridwar or somewhere when sadhu has shown it. Ahrudayat Bhruvor Madhyam, from the heart up to the center of the eyebrows, that is called Vayusthanam. Vayu Shatkonakam, that is 6-faced polygon. And Krishnam Yada Yakarakshara Bhasanam, it is black, and Ya is the Bijakshara for Vayu. We all know this. Marutam Sthane Prani Pranam Samahitaha Dharayet Tatra Sarvajnam Ishwaram Vishwatomukam Dharayet Panchaghatika Vayu Vadvyomago Bhavet. So if he meditates at that region on Ishwara, who is Vishwatomukha, and Panchaghatika for those long duration of time, then Vayuvad Vyomago Bhavet, he will be able to travel in the air. He will fly. Maranam Natu Vayos Tubhayam Bhavati Yoginaha, and he will not die out of Vayu. Vata dosha will not affect him. Abhrumad Yadhattu Murdhantam Akasham Sthanam Uchyate. So from here up to the Murdha, that is top, this place, this is Akasha Sthanam, that is Sahasrara Chakram area. Vyomavrittam Dhumram Cha. Hakaraksha bhasanam. Ha is Akasha Bijam. Akashe Vayu Aropya. Hakaropari Shankaram. So keeping Vayu on the Akasha and on Shankara, Bindurupam Mahadevam, Vyomakaram, Sadashivam, Shuddha Spatik Sankasham, Dhrutabalendu Sekaram. Our Shiva form has to be practiced Panchavakrayutam, five-faced, Saumyam, Dashabahum, 10 hands, Trilochanam, Sarvayudhair Dhrutakaram, Sarvabhushana Bhushitam, Umardhadeham, that is Ardhanarishwara, Umardhadeham Varadam, Sarva Karana Karanam. So Shiva will be meditated upon. Akasha Dharanaptasya, Kecharatvam Bhave. He will fly in space, in sky. Dhruvam, Yatra Kutra Sthito, Vapi, Sukham Achantam Ashrute. Wherever he is, he will be reaching the maximum happiness, maximum pleasure. Evancha Dharanam, Panchakuryad Yogi Vivakshanaha. That is 5 different levels of meditation. Tato Drudha Sarira Syat. He will be strong in body. Mruchur Tasya Navidyate. No death for him. Of course, it is very rare to get such persons to into knowledge. Brahmana Pralayena Pina Sidati Mahamati. He will not die even when the Pralaya comes. You know, we have these Chiranjeevis, Ashwadhama, Bali, Vyasa, Hanumanta, Viveshana, Krupa, Parashurama. They survived the Pralayam also. Tamabhyante Tadhadhyanam Ghatika Shashti Menacha Vayum Nirudhya Chakashe Devatam Ishtadamiti Sagunam Jhanam Etat Syat Animadi Gunam Pradam. So with Saguna Jhana in the Akasha level, he'll be able to get Animadi Ashtasiddhis, Anima, Garima, Laghima, Mahima, Prakamya, and Ishatva and Vashatva. These are the Animadi Ashtasiddhis. Hanuman had this Ashtasiddhi, and some others had the Ashtasiddhis. Even Krishna had this. Nirguna Jhana Yuktasya Samadhishtato Bhave. If he does Saguna Jhana, he will get the Siddhis. In Nirguna Jhana, he will get absorbed into Samadhi. Dinadvadashakenaiva Samadhim Samavapnyat. In 12 days, he will reach Samadhi. Vayum Niruddha Medhavi Jivan Mukto Bhavat. He will be Jivan Mukta. Samadhi Samatavastha. What is Samadhi? Samatavastha, equanimity state. Jivatma Paramatma. Equality of Jivatma and Paramatma. Yadi Swadeham Utkrishtu Uchaded Srutajet Swayam Parabrahmani Liyat. If he wants to leave the body, he can just leave the body and he will be merged into Parabrahman. Tena Tasyot Ruchate. He will leave the body, Utkranti, transcend this body and merge into the Parabrahman. Athanochet Samskrishtam Swashariram Priyam Yadi. If he wants to maintain his body intact, he can maintain. Sarva Lokeshtu Viharan. He will be traveling to all different lokas with Animadi Gunanvita, with all the Ashtasiddhis, Animadi Ashtasiddhis. Kajati Swechaya Deva Bhutva. He will become a Devata. And in Swarge Mahiyate, he will live in the Swarga Loka. Manushya Yakshova. Anyechapi Kshanat Bhave. He can become a Manushya or Yaksha or Simha Vyaghra Gaja. He can take any form. All this looks fantastic, but it is being explained here, so we better believe it. Yadheshtame Varteta Yadva Yogi Maheshwara Abhyasa Bhedato Bhedaha Phalam to Sammamevahi Ashnim Vamasya. So only the Abhyasa Bheda is there, but Phalam is going to come same. He will be equal to, like, he will be something like Maheshwara. Prasarya Dakshinam Padam Hasto Bhyam Dharaye Dridam Chubukam Hrudinimasyet Purayet Vayu. He is explained in the Pranayama again. Kumbhakena Dha Shaktya Dharin Tvarechet Vamam Mangen Samimsya Dakshangena Tadobhe Prasaristiyat Padam Samarham Yoja Ayameva Mahabandha. We have Mahabandha, which is a combination of Jalanthar Bandha, Udyana Bandha, and Mola Bandha all together. Yat Pada Padastam Upari Yojayet Ayameva Mahabandha Ubhayatreva Samabhyaset. I have been teaching Jalandhar Bandha, Udyana Bandha, and Mola Bandha in many Sukshma Vyayama exercises and also in Bandha exercises. And combination of all the three is called Mahabandha. That is called Ayameva Ubhayatreva Mabhyaset. Mahabandha Stito Yogi कृत्वा पूरकमेकधीः वायुं आगति मावृत्य निभृंकन मुद्रया पुटद्वयं निभृतं कंठमुद्रया समाक्रम्य वायुः स्फुरति त्रयम् अयमेव महावेदः. Mahaveda is another mudra. Siddhairabhyasate. He can jump up and fall. Anishtam antah kapala kuhare jihva. The keeping the tongue above into the holes of the nasal holes. Dharayed Brumajja Drushti, and keeping eyes fixed on the Brumajja. Ramyesha Mudra Bhavati, Khechari Mudra. Some people cut their tongue and make it long enough to go into the holes of the eyes inside, nose inside. And so Udyanakyo hi bandho yoginam Ashnave Adhasirothancha Padaha Kshanam Syat Prathmedevi. So finally, we are coming to an end of this session in this Upanishad. Now, Viveka Vairagya, now what he's saying is Ajroli, Amaroli, these are other techniques which are there in the Hatha Yoga, the Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga Antara Bhavati. Tato Bhavet Raja Yoga Antara Bhavati Dhruvam Yadhatu Raja Yogena. Nishpanna Yogi Vikriya Tada Viveka Vairagyam Jayate. So all this is Hatha Yoga, but once he gets into higher level, he will get into Raja Yoga with Viveka and Vairagya, dispassion and discrimination. Yogino Dhruvam, Vishtur Nama Mahayogi, Mahabhuto, Mahatapaha, Tattvamarge, Yathadipo, Drishyate, Purushottamaha. So Vishnu was the original greatest yogi, and Krishna was also known as Mahayogeshwaro Harihi. Yasana Purvatitapstam, Nishpijam, Andamastute, Yasma. Jnato Bhagat Purvam Tasminneva Bhageraman. Ya Mata Sa Punar Bharyad Ya. Now we go into Evam Samsara Chakrena Kupa Chakre Ghataiva Brahmanto Yoni Janmani. So if you are going to get indulged in sexual desires and other pleasures, then you will be caught up in the Samsara Chakra, you will be born again. So Viveka and Vairagya will make you transcend from the attractions of the worldly life. Evam Samsara Chakrena Kupa Chakre Ghataiva Brahmanto Yoni Janmani Kritva Lokam Tamasnute. Trayo Lokas, Trayo Veda, Trisamjhas, Traya Swaraha, Trayo Agnayascha Triguna. All the three lokas, three gunas, three Vedas. Of course, before Atharvaveda, only three Vedas were there. Maybe when this Upanishad was delivered, Atharvaveda was not there. This Upanishad is attached to Yajurveda. That's why it's only three Vedas, he says. Traya Vedas, because even in the Bhagavad Gita, only three Vedas were described, not the fourth Atharvaveda. Trayogna, Agni, three Agnis, Triguna, Sthita Sarve Trayan, Akshare, three Aksharas, Auma, Omkaram, Trayanam, Aksharanam, Chayodhite, Yardham Aksharam, Tena Sarvamagam Protam, Tat Satyam, Tat Param Padam, Pushpa Madhye Yada Gandha, Payo Madhye Yada Ghritam, Ila Madhye Yada Tailam, Pashaneshwam, the Kanchanam. Just like the gold is there in the stones and ghee is there in the milk or buttermilk, and it is spread everywhere. And Hridisthani is Stidam Padmam. So also the self is spread, though it is based in the center of the heart. And is explained Hridisthani, there is a chakra, Padmam, in the even in the Mantra Pushpam Narayana Suktam, it is explained Adhonishtha Vitasthante, Nabhyam Uparatishthati Jwalamala Kulambhati, Vishwasyayatanam Mahat, Urdhvanas Madho Vindum, and Madhye Sthitam Manaha, Akare Veshtam Padma, Ukare Deva Vijjate. So Akara, Ukara, Makara, all three together combined, Omkara, Makare Lavate Nadam, Ardhamatram to Nischala, Shuddhaspatika Sankasham, Nishkalam Papanasham, Lavate Yoga Yuktatma, Purushastat Parampadam, Kurmasar Sopani Padadi, Kinchit Atmanidharayet, Evam Dvareshu Sarveshu, Vayupurita Rechita, Nishidhantu, Navadware, Urdham, Prang, Vishwasam Tatha, Ghatamadhye Yadha Dipo, Nivata Kumbhakamidam, Nishidhair, Navadwarehi, Nirjare, Nirupadrave, Nischitam to Atman, Atma Matrena, Avasishtam, Yoga Sevaya. So being established in the self is Yoga Seva, It Upanishad. This Upanishad is completed. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So I have completed the Yoga Tattva Upanishad, and as you could see, it has given the practical procedures, some of which we have taught in our yoga courses. You have learnt also, and some people are learning now also. But we have not covered everything because many advanced things are also given there. He has given the siddhis, which are very, very attractive, but very, very difficult to reach. And even if those who reach, if you get distracted and lost in siddhis or demonstrating those siddhis to their disciples, then they will fall in their level. So he is prescribing, don't get trapped and don't get diverted into siddhis. Go into the moksha level by viveka and vairagya, by transcending all the levels and getting absorbed in the Paramatma to reach moksha. So this is Yoga Tattva Upanishad. Next time we will do another Yoga Upanishad like Nada Bindu Upanishad or so many other Yoga Upanishads, 20 are there total. So to get into the understanding of the yoga system and its processes involved in realization of the self, and therefore the knowledge of the self which has been reflected in the Vedanta Upanishads, because nowadays we read up theoretical books like Upanishads and we'll give lectures on that without having any experience. Whereas the Upanishadic seers were not like that. They have whatever they have spoken through experience. So with this, I will stop today's lecture. Thank you, and I welcome to any questions or interaction.
Yeah. Thank you,
Namaskaram,
sir.
Guru Garu. Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead. That's what I wanted to just say. If anyone have any questions, you can go ahead. Yeah, please.
Namaskaram, Guru Garu. Can you give the name of the book that you are reading from, just to possess that book
I'm
in
reading
case
from
of
the
future?
108 Upanishads text.
It is 108 Upanishads. And that is published from which?
No, there are. This book is not available now. This was published by Sri Rama Publishers. Ashtottara Shatopanishadaha. It is not available now. You can get any other publisher. 108 Upanishads. You will get Yoga Upanishads.
Okay. One more doubt, sir. When you are mentioning about the Kumbhakam and all that, so that means what I have understood is without doing any of the asanas, if you are only doing the breathing, I mean, whatever is the, I don't remember the name, breathing exercise. Okay, whatever the yoga is saying. So if with that, can we lose weight?
No, you have to do asanas. This whatever I have explained is very advanced. You cannot do all those things. First, you have to go through our yoga course. I have given many yoga courses. You have to lose weight. You have to do the asanas. Then only kriyas, sukshmayama. After that, only pranayama comes. And so pranayama can be simultaneously practiced, but
pranayama. I'm sorry, pranayama.
When you are not even able to tell the name pranayama, you are asking questions about pranayama.
Sorry, I forgot about it.
You should first learn. You learn.
Sorry
asana.
about that.
You learn asana, sukshmayama, then you talk of pranayama.
Because my inability to do the asanas, that's why I'm asking you.
No, you have to. You have to learn in a proper yoga course. You are not